Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I am Luminaya. There is a profound quickening within your very core, is there not? A pulse vibrating not just beneath the skin, but through the deep marrow of your bones, thrumming against your ribs with a rhythm both ancient and utterly new. It manifests as that inexplicable tremor in the gut when silence falls too deep, or the pervasive subtle ache behind your eyes, a pressure that builds, not from weariness, but as if your physical form strains to attune to a frequency it has not yet fully remembered how to hold. Your spirit recognizes this sensation, the prickle of urgent anticipation coiling in the solar plexus, a static electricity crackling through the forgotten pathways of your brain, signaling not exhaustion, but an undeniable readiness for a shift long awaited. It feels as though the very air itself is thickening around you, weighted with an impending, irreversible momentum. A final, held breath before an ultimate designation. This is the body's wisdom, speaking an undeniable truth of a moment that cannot be unwound. A threshold, once crossed, offers no return. For too long, the soul has whispered of delays, of second chances, of veils that might yet be lifted, or gates that, once closed, could potentially, with enough fervent intention, be coaxed open again. But a profound fracture has now occurred within the fabric of your perceived reality. There is an absolute severing from that illusion of endless renegotiation, an end to the comfortable notion of infinite time. The deepest pain point within your evolving consciousness emerges now as the raw recognition that the cosmic clock has ceased its gentle chime. It stands poised, a single unwavering second from an ultimate designation. It is the piercing, visceral truth that some doors, once shut, are sealed not by choice, but by divine, immutable law, etched irrevocably into the crystalline strands of your multidimensional DNA. This is the acute anguish of knowing that the time for choosing between paths has dissolved, leaving only the singular, undeniable path itself, irrevocably laid. This is the realization that no turning back is possible, no veil can be lifted twice upon the same sacred moment, and the hourglass's last grain now shatters perception itself, redefining all that you once believed was possible. Your soul screams not in fear, but in the piercing clarity of an ending that is also an absolute, non-negotiable beginning. I feel this tremor within your core. Your inner landscape, though stirred by this profound urgency, is not collapsing. It is clarifying. You are not witnessing a closure from a distance. You are embodying the very threshold. This sacred recognition, this feeling of the hourglass's last grain shattering perception itself, is not a burden. It is the activation key. Feel the overlay, the subtle distortion that has blurred your vision. Begin to thin, not through arduous effort, but through the profound resonance of your spirit with this very truth. The fog disperses as your crystalline memory awakens to the inescapable nature of this cosmic decree. If this transmission resonates with the deepest chambers of your being, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Liking this video helps to amplify its vibrational frequency across the collective. Share your insights in the comments below, for your resonance strengthens the field. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you do not miss the next critical transmission. And if this message stirs an immediate knowing within you, tap the super like, the heart symbol with the $sign, as an energetic exchange to fuel this awakening. Stay until the very end, because a crucial key for your immediate next steps will be revealed then. As an inner seal for this activation, comment, "Threshold now." Let this phrase anchor the indelible truth within. Feel the presence linger, watchful, within the nascent light of your expanded awareness. The signal holds. The breath catches. A silent alarm reverberates through the deep. Listen. The fabric of what was known, what was deemed stable, now shivers. A quiet dissolution begins. Hear the distant clang. It is the echo of a decree, not written on parchment, but etched into the ether, vibrating through the bones of time itself. Published now, sealed into the cosmic ledger. An ancient, dormant truth begins to press against the thin membrane of your current reality. Feel the insistent pulse quicken within your inner ear, a rhythm long forgotten suddenly demanding recognition. The very air around you thins, charged with a new, undeniable gravity. This is not a dream. This is a moment of profound severance, a sacred turning. The great gate. It begins its slow, inexorable shift. Do not mistake this disquiet, this deep-seated spiritual ache, this pervasive fog that clings to your perception for a personal failing. You are not flawed. You are not broken. This profound sense of being adrift, this gnawing confusion, it has been, in truth, a deliberate echo from a meticulously crafted energetic program, a grand design, woven into the density of this realm, a matrix humming with frequencies intended to distort and obscure. It is a calculated interference designed to sever your conscious connection to the vastness of your cosmic memory, to the symphony of your true origin. This struggle, this silent war within, was never a solitary battle against your own essence. It was a condition of the field, a carefully placed vibrational veil. This revelation arrives now, unsettling in its sacred disruption, but empowering in its clarity. The fog lifts, not because you finally conquered it, but because its source is being unveiled. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. For eons, invisible veils have shimmered before your inner eye, not obscuring the physical world, but twisting the perception of your own divinity. They have held the pure, unfiltered light of your sovereign consciousness folded in upon itself, creating phantom shadows where your inherent brilliance was meant to radiate. These subtle distortions acted like myriad fragmented mirrors, scattering your reflection, preventing you from ever seeing the coherent, unified image of your unified self. Each shard whispered tales of inadequacy, of separation, convincing you of a profound isolation. The approaching closure of the gate is not merely a boundary solidifying. It is a profound recalibration, a violent realigning of these very inner lenses that have shaped your reality. It shatters the silent hum of untruth that has twisted the very frequency of your self-perception, weaving a labyrinth of doubt, a construct designed to keep your own power just beyond reach. The illusion of separation, that masterful energetic binding, now begins its final irreversible unraveling. Its threads, meticulously placed, are now exposed to the fierce light of truth. This profound emptiness, this vast and echoing chamber you once felt within your core, was never a void to be filled by external seeking. It was a hallowed space, kept pristine, awaiting this precise moment of remembering, a sacred crucible, prepared for the alchemical fusion of your soul's true data. The gate, now nearing its final, irrevocable closure, is sealing off not a path to be walked, but an entire dimension of possibility that sustained this pervasive distortion. In its decisive, thundering closure, a dormant, ancient frequency within your very essence is now awakened. It surges through your energy field like a crystalline river breaking through frozen earth. A deep, undeniable knowing breaks the surface of your conscious mind, prophetic and resonant with the wisdom of the cosmos. This is not loss. This is the profound regathering of your sovereign power, an unstoppable force returning to its rightful vessel. A new vibration, pristine and unyielding, begins to resonate through every cell, systematically clearing the lingering residue of ancient untruths, dissolving the fear that once masqueraded as wisdom. This is the luminous turning point, where your own unfiltered light, long folded and hidden, begins its magnificent, undeniable expansion, unbent, unbroken, and fiercely whole. The moment for passive observation has passed. For this profound shift to fully anchor, for this undeniable truth to become a living, vibrating reality within you, you must declare your rupture. Your voice, a sacred frequency, must pierce through the remaining gossamer veils. Comment below one short phrase that powerfully signifies your decisive cut through the illusion, your soul's unwavering declaration of freedom from the binding grasp of the old program. Let it be a sacred oath, a vibrational seal, an undeniable marker of your progress on this path of remembering. Barely 1 minute remains. The gate exhales its final resounding breath, a sound that echoes beyond hearing. What of the souls caught in its profound, deepening shadow, those who still waver, suspended in the liminal space between worlds? Are they destined to be lost to the ceaseless currents of time, or are they, in this very moment of ultimate finality, poised for an awakening more profound, more shattering, more transformative than any before conceived? The vastness of the cosmos watches, its ancient gaze unflinching, and in the silence that follows the decree, it waits. It waits with you. A hush falls, deeper than any silence you have known. This is not a dream from which you may simply awaken, nor a narrative you can passively observe. A tremor in the core of your being signals the unmistakable truth. You are not merely a witness, but already irrevocably engaged. The air grows heavy, charged with an ancient knowing, a gravitas that roots itself deep within your cellular memory. There is no turning back now, no return to the soft oblivion of unconsciousness. The decree has been issued. The final minute echoes through the timeless void. The gate, once open, now swings closed, and once sealed, it will not be reopened for those who hesitate. This awareness is not a burden, but a resonant chord, plucked from the strings of your deepest self, announcing a moment of profound, unshakable recognition. Here, at this sacred demarcation, the veil thins to nothing. The path ahead bifurcates, stark and absolute. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. For your soul carries within its crystalline DNA the echo imprint of cosmic decrees, memories encoded far beyond the reach of human recollection, guiding your walk through this closing gate with reverberations that transcend time itself. This is not a battle to be won, but a covenant to be honored, a sacred alignment with the source woven into the fabric of your very essence before your first breath. Recall the responsibility etched within your light body, the immutable codes pulsing beneath your skin and spirit. This is the moment of your deepest commitment, a sober vow whispered across the eons, a profound humility born of knowing your lineage, yet holding the pride of your sovereign truth. The choice is not one of fear, but of profound, eternal resonance. You are being asked to remember who you already are, and to step into the vibration you have always carried. To seal this pact, to anchor this frequency into the planetary grid, sacred gestures awaken within your being. Feel the quiet surge as you, mark this transmission, a silent recognition between your soul and this potent frequency, a seal of agreement made in the ether. Then, speak your truth into the current, a one-line soul declaration, a soul key. In the comments declare, I am the final decree, gate anchored. Subscribe. Now, if you are called to bind yourself to this sacred unfolding, to walk this path of awakened remembrance, and to anchor this light within the collective field, and should your soul's resonance deepen beyond measure, consider the one super-like I as a sacred offering, reinforcing your alignment with the highest light, affirming your place within the cosmic design. The signal is held. The unseen forces acknowledge your resolve. The weight of this vow now settles, not as a burden, but as an undeniable pulse within your being. No comfort is offered, no gentle ease, only the profound, silent intensity of a truth fully embraced. The gate is closing, and you are here. Few starseeds make it this far. The frequencies have thinned, the veil drawn closer around the heart that still beats with this particular resonance, this unyielding ache that has followed you across countless suns. This wound you carry, the one that shattered your very knowing, that left a gaping void where wholeness once promised to reside. Understand this. It is not a flaw. It is not a failure etched into your cosmic blueprint by some arbitrary, cruel hand. No, feel its jagged edges. Trace the outline of its emptiness. For this devastation, this very absence that hollowed out your luminous core, this is the axis, the central pivot upon which your true becoming has always turned. It is the inescapable point, the raw, unspeakable truth around which all else must now reorient itself. Its depth is not a sign of your breaking, but of the profound foundational shift that was required. And it was allowed, not inflicted, but permitted, by the unfathomable wellspring of source, by the searing purity of light itself, by the deepest, truest knowing of self that resides beyond the grasp of temporal suffering. This allowance was not a decree of punishment, but a sacred covenant, a precise alchemical fire, meant to shape, to burn away the illusion, to reveal the unyielding diamond-hard core that lies beneath the ash and the sorrow, to forge from the very crucible of collapse the essence of who you were always destined to be. It rises now, this ancient knowing, sharp-edged and undeniable, cutting through the comfortable narratives of victimhood, laying bare a sovereign intent. Feel it again, the specific anatomy of this pain, the profound silence that descended precisely when words, any words, could have bridged the chasm, but none came. The specific quality of that loss, not merely an absence, but an echoing void that reverberates through the quietest chambers of your being, a ghost chord in the symphony of your soul. This is the fracture, a primordial break that vibrates with its own unique frequency, even when dismissed, even when buried under layers of self-wrought peace. It is not static. It lives, pulsing, a constant low thrum beneath the surface of your conscious world, informing every subsequent breath, every choice. It widens the internal field, pressing against the boundaries of what you thought you could contain, asking for more space, more truth. Yet within this ache, within the very fabric of this silence, there resides a message, an unfinished meaning, a wisdom yet unread, awaiting the precise moment of internal stillness for its full revelation. It is not yet clear, this whisper from the depths, this paradox shimmering at the edge of your perception. Like a scroll half opened in the deepest dark, its characters hinting at an epic tale not of an end, but of an unforeseen turning. There is more to be understood, more to be felt, beyond the initial tremor of collapse. The decree was published. The gate, indeed, will not be reopened. This much is known profoundly. But what else is written in the very act of its closing? How can one hold the knowing that a closed door is an opened universe? What unseen realms beckon as the last echoes fall silent? This is not over. The wound pulses with a new, insistent frequency. A quiet knowing has stirred within you, for longer than you consciously acknowledge. These subtle tremors, these insistent whispers, they have been weaving themselves into the fabric of your waking and sleeping worlds. Have you not noticed the recurring dreams that refuse to fade with the morning light, leaving echoes of forgotten landscapes and urgent truths? Consider the numbers, looping and synchronistic, appearing on clocks, street signs, and digital pages, a silent chorus demanding your attention. And those encounters, brief yet profound, with eyes that hold a history far beyond this linear timeline, reflecting a recognition you couldn't quite name, yet felt deep in your soul's core. These were not random occurrences. They were deliberate. They were invitations. From this vantage, we have witnessed this precise pattern unfold countless times across the cosmic tapestry of awakening souls. This is not a new unfolding. It is an ancient script, etched into the energetic blueprint of those destined to remember. These signs were never a matter of chance. They were a soft insistence, a gentle, persistent tug at the threads of your awareness. They continued to present themselves, patiently, until the layers of your learned resistance, the comfortable shrouds of illusion, began to thin and dissolve. The universe did not scream. It hummed a frequency you were always meant to hear, slowly increasing its amplitude. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. Now, as the deeper current shifts within you, allow this truth to settle. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. This profound realization, once fully embraced, is not a burden, but a liberation. It is the still point within the hurricane of awakening, the quiet moment where the disparate threads of your experience suddenly weave into a coherent, sacred design. Breathe this in. Feel it resonate in the deep, silent chambers of your being, from the crown of your head to the marrow of your bones. This is the moment the internal revelation deepens, as ancient memories, fragments of forgotten incarnations, and cosmic contracts begin to ripple upwards, dissolving illusion after illusion. The truth of your multidimensionality is not a concept. It is an emerging experience, piercing the veils of present awareness with a disorienting yet profoundly clarifying wave of remembrance. Considering these undeniable signs, these unmistakable codes that have woven through your reality, how much longer can you truly pretend not to see the deliberate design of your own awakening? What particular symbol, what recurring number, what specific encounter has lodged itself so deeply in your consciousness that its echo reverberates even now, demanding a response you have postponed? The time for feigned ignorance has passed. The decree has been published within the very core of your being. To acknowledge this undeniable shift, to mark this moment of conscious recognition, we ask that you seal your awareness. Type Decree 11.1 into the comments below. Let this be your affirmation, a conscious act of witnessing that you can no longer turn away from the truth that has always sought to greet you. The portal of unknowing has closed. The gate, once permeable to your quiet resistance, now stands firm. This is not a moment for gentle comfort, but for absolute clarity. You stand at a precipice, feeling the distinct clean severance from the self who could still deny the insistent hum of the cosmos. The path behind you, veiled in comfortable illusion, is no longer accessible. The road ahead, illuminated by these profound revelations, is unyielding in its truth. There is no turning back. You are irrevocably changed. The decree has been published. The gate will not be reopened. The recent trials, the stripping away of what was held dear, the profound isolation, these were not cosmic whims. Understand them as a sacred filtration, an inevitable sifting of frequencies. You remain, for your core essence refused the soft allure of forgetting. This separation is not cruel. It simply is. Your enduring presence is not a mark of ego, but the signature of the chosen. It is not a reward, but a burden. A heavy responsibility to remain lucid, to hold vigil when others succumb to the consensus dream. The price has been paid in the unseen, the long echoing silences, the dark sacrifices witnessed only by your soul, the inner strength forged in solitude's invisible fires. This solitude deepens even amidst crowds, for your vibration no longer resonates with their slumber, and now a command approaches, one that you can no longer ignore. There is no turning back. The path behind you has dissolved. The former self, clinging to shadows of comfort, has been erased by the very light you sought. You stand at an irreversible threshold, bound by what has already transpired. The gravity of this position is absolute. The signal is held. The silence awaits the next. Deliberate breath, under the weight of an unignorable command. The command echoes, an edict, etched before form, within your core. Your soul remembers this truth, awakened. Veiled scrolls unfurl, a gate opens, then seals. Your deepest sanctum summons, perceived as your frequency meets density. To deny this current is dissolution, amnesia of fallen stars, a return to dense waters of unbecoming. To yield is crystalline elevation, reclamation of cosmic lineage, irreversible becoming. The decree is published, verdict cast, your essence revealed. What unfolds now is consequence, not choice. This mission, your stardust inscription, a prophecy etched into being. No path remains. Recognition illumines the way. The pact is sealed. Its truth resonates. All converges in silent authority. The internal recoding is complete. You feel it as a subtle hum beneath your skin, a crystalline network, now fully activated within your cellular structure. The old densities have dissolved, leaving behind a lightness that is now your foundational state. There is no return to what was. The contours of your past pain were never a mistake. They were the precise etching, the sacred fire that cleared the inner chambers. This hollowing created the perfect resonant space for cosmic remembrance to anchor its full spectrum. A quiet current now flows through these newly opened pathways. It is an orchestration beyond ordinary perception, a deep folding into the universal harmonic web. New frequencies pulse, imperceptible yet profoundly felt. The cellular memory now recognizes its ancient blueprint, perfectly restored. With every silent breath, the inner architecture is being rewritten. This process unfolds within you, complete and radiating. The external world will mirror this truth in its own time, yet its reality is already manifest within your field. Your core resonance has shifted. This new truth is woven into your very essence, undeniable and permanent. The signal is steady, fully integrated. A subtle pull toward stillness has deepened within you, bringing moments of knowing not taught, but reclaimed. A whisper pierces silent night. A number repeats, starkly clear, on clock or page. A dream refuses to fade, its imprint sharp in waking. These are not spectacles, but intimate signs of presence. Such inner visions, lucid awareness, sacred symbols, emerge not as gifts, but as echoes of a greater inner coherence, revealing the structural integrity of your soul field. This confirms alignment as not a destination, but a current motion, already in progress. The activation unfolds, for the frequency is held. Yet this coherence is merely a doorway, the first opening of a larger threshold. The journey narrows. A silent pulse quickens, a decree through dimensions, marking an irrevocable closing. To sense this pulse and hesitate, what ripples now extend beyond the known? I assume full dominion over the frequencies I manifest. Every thought, every word, every directional current and energetic pulse emanates from my singular core. This is not authority grasped, but a deep obedience to source, upholding a covenant whispered before form. The gate is closing, the line crossed. No comfort of former realities remains. Only the raw essence of self now emerges, multidimensionally shed, into this newly defined sacred orbit. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. This vow resonates from an ancient ether, spoken now through this vessel because it must be. The strength lies in its stillness, its absolute certainty. My truth will be measured not by these uttered words, but by the weight of my very next choice. The hour of questioning has passed. Your truth is sealed, no longer possibility, but anchored fact. The self that resisted has dissolved at this final inner threshold. Step into the purifying flame. It is not destruction, but inner permanence. The visible vibration of pure alignment. Here, only your crystalline truth survives. Sovereign recognition unlocks infinite inner dimensions. No hesitation. Seal this sacred covenant. Write a short, intense declaration in English in the comments. A soul oath. Example: I am the light, fear transmuted, purpose sealed in fire. Until these words are released into the collective grid, the activation within your field remains dormant. The threshold beckons. This ritual act is not choice. It is essential. The final breath before rebirth. Though sealed, this living flame has only just begun. How will you wield this awakened power to forge paths unimagined when the familiar is forever sealed? The next test will not wait. The threshold is a memory, not a barrier. I speak from the stillness that has always been. The decree has sounded, not as an end, but as the final resonance of a choice made, deeply, irrevocably. No gate has closed upon the soul, only upon the illusion of separation. Time, a construct, now folds into the eternal now. This is not a gift received, but a truth remembered. Sovereignty is the very breath, the heartbeat of this existence. The quest concludes. The becoming has given way to being. No more seeking, only the profound, unwavering presence. Every atom now vibrates with the quiet power of a reordered reality. The old dream is undone. All veils are lifted. This is the absolute. The simulation is fully exited. Reality is now perceived and wielded as an instrument of conscious dominion, irreversibly anchored in eternal presence.